What is going on, everybody? Retro 3 back at you. Another regular video. Woo! Regular videos. So here we are today, and we're gonna mix something up. It'll appeal to several, might not appeal to everybody. When we get to the flavors, I'll explain what's going on. So this is a mix, a Backwoods blueberry style mix. What Backwoods flavors are, usually it's a fruit and a tobacco. And I know a lot of people aren't into tobacco vapes. This one I think you'll really like. So if you've never tried a tobacco, perhaps this is the one that you can try. Tobacco vapes aren't necessarily cigarette vapes. They're not necessarily pipe vapes. Tobacco flavors are generally kind of tobacco leafy flavors. The one we're going to be using today is the new Flavor RY4. I've tried it in a couple mixes. I've been really impressed by it. One of the first vapes that I vaped consistently after I quit on a coffee e-liquid, and it was just a straight coffee e-liquid. Vaped it all day, every day. That was the only thing I vaped for probably a couple weeks, and that's the flavor I needed to get off cigarettes. After I kind of got over the phase of needing only that one flavor, one of the flavors that really helped me was a Backwoods blueberry flavor, and it was a really nice kind of natural blueberry flavor. Thinking back about it, it was probably 100% Flavor West Blue Bacco. That's probably all it was. The tobacco in it was kind of odd, but I really liked vaping it at night. So after I would get done with work and I was all kind of wound down at night, I would start vaping this, and that would kind of signal my brain, hey, start winding down, go to bed. I structured my brain to associate this Backwoods blueberry flavor with kind of winding down. And ever since then, I wasn't the biggest fan of tobaccos, but I wasn't scared of them because I had been vaping this flavor and I knew what it was. And it, like I said, it was more of a tobacco leaf than an actual like lit burning tobacco flavor. If you want a recipe like that, I made a recipe called Gotta Light. It's over on ELR. Tastes just like a freshly lit cigarette, and it's terrifying. But this one is far more pleasant. It's far more desserty. The mix that we've got going on is going to be really nice for people, I think. So like I said, we're starting with that Flavor RY4. Flavor RY4. Then we are going to use a little bit of Flavor West Butterscotch Ripple. The RY4 has a lot of kind of toasted caramel notes in it. So we're gonna use that nice burnt sugar type flavor. We're gonna use some Butterscotch Ripple to kick that up. Next, I'm gonna use probably my favorite blueberry on the planet. That's BSO Blueberry. BSO Blueberry. And to enhance that, I'm gonna use a little bit of my real favorite flavor on the planet, BSO Huckleberry. So there we go, everybody. So those are our 4 flavors that we're going to be using here. Let's get going, everybody. See y'all down low. All right, everybody, here we are down low. Let's get this thing going. All right, so our first flavor, Flavor RY4. So this is a brand new flavor. Like I said, I've been really impressed with the caramel notes in it. Really lovely flavor. When you sniff it, there's almost like you get a coffee and a sugar cone off of it, but what you actually get out of it is just an absolutely lovely kind of scorched caramel, light vanilla. Really nice. We need 1.4% of this, so that'll take us to 0.42 and a 30 ml. Went a little over there. That is okay. Like I said, if I do anything on a flavor, I prefer to go over than going under. Just cause. Next, Butterscotch Ripple. Butterscotch Ripple. So what Butterscotch Ripple is, it's almost like a butterscotch ice cream. So it's a butterscotch cream type flavor. Just absolutely lovely flavor. This is at 0.8, so I need 0.25. It works really well for enhancing your caramels. Caramel and butterscotch are peas and carrots, everybody. The rule I will generally follow as far as concentrates go with butterscotch and caramel is I will use one and then I will grab the other and I will cut it in half. And that's what I use to enhance the original flavor. So if I want a good butterscotch recipe, I'll use like 2% butterscotch, and then I'll use like 1% of a caramel. Or if I want a good caramel, I'll use 2% of a caramel and 1% of butterscotches. So just be aware. That's my basic rule. Usually I'll vary it depending on the flavor. There you go, Blueberry by BSO. This is the best blueberry, period. It's like a blueberry fresh out of a patch. Like it is spot on delicious blueberry. So what we've got right here is we've got 3%. A little over again. Like I said, that's fine. That's what we're aiming for. Next, probably my favorite flavor going these days, BSO Huckleberry. Absolutely love this flavor. I asked Shane about it. He created it and it couldn't be more perfect. We're using this at 1%. This is just going to enhance that blueberry. Give it a little bit more of a wilder edge on the back end. Huckleberries, for those who have never had them, are wild blueberries. Far more intense flavor. Absolutely wonderful. They're one of my favorite things ever. I live in an area where we get huckleberries, so I'm able to get huckleberry stuff all the time. Yes, VSO Huckleberry. If you haven't got it yet, go get it. Next, a little bit of Voldemort's potion here. There we go. That'll put me right at 1.5%. I always put the recipes down for 3, but myself, I vape 1.5. All right, next we've got our propylene glycol, and we need 6.47 grams. A little over, once again, that's fine. Just have to get our VG accordingly. And these 30 mil chubby gorillas, I know exactly where the 30 mil point is. The 26.49 grams of VG, what it'll look like in the bottle should be right about there. So that should make up about the difference on all the different things that we did. So there we go. Ta-da! And we'll go back up top, do a little eye contact, and we'll be on our way. All right, everybody, here we are back up top. Got our mix. Let's go ahead and just crack that neck. There you go. Those 30 mil chubby gorillas are pretty nice like that. Pretty nice like that. That's why I would like using them. So, what all we got going on, everybody? Like, what sort of mixes have you guys seen that we could possibly do? How was your week? How was your week, by the way? Someone brought up the point of sweetener. Every mix is sweet to taste, especially, you know, you're fresh coming off, if you're looking to get into DIY and coming down from like a commercially liquid. Commercially liquids tend to have a ton of sweetener in them. You'll notice that I generally don't use them. So sweeteners, for those that are coming in there and you need something sweeter, not quite getting all that you're expecting out of a vape, it's the sweetener. Generally, you'll get used to not using sweetener pretty quickly, but I've still got lots of friends that religiously put sweetener in. There's 2 that I would recommend. There's Flavor West sweetener, and then there's Super Sweet by Capella. Flavor West sweetener is just sucralose. It's pretty straightforward, doesn't really interfere with the taste in your vapes. Cap Super Sweet is sucralose, citric acid, and there's another acid in there. So there's other things that play in there. It works really well for fruits. Cap Super Sweet is excellent for fruits. The Flavor West sweetener I would use for pretty much anything but fruits. So keep that in mind. In my mind, that's what those 2 are good for. But I mean, you can use either or in anything. So don't let me change your mind and all that good stuff. Just the more sweetener you add, the more often you're gonna have to tend to your coil, change your coils, whatever. Because the sugar forms a residue on the coil, and that's why things get burnt out and you have to change them. If you don't use sweeteners at all, your coils are gonna last a lot longer. Generally, I'd recommend starting at about 0.5%, working your way up. So you just plug in whatever sweetener you want. Anyway, let's get back to the recipe at hand. This is the Backwoods Blueberry. Go ahead and give her a knuckle test. Remember, those that don't watch my videos, knuckle test, you just put a drop on your knuckle. And delicious. I knew it would be. I knew this was gonna be good. It's a fantastic recipe. So right off the shake, you get that natural blueberry, hint of green from the huckleberry. That's what I was hoping for. Like, you picked this blueberry out of the patch. That's what I want it to taste like. That's what it does taste like. And then you get a sweet, dark, rich, burnt caramel. And then you get just a hint of cream. Butterscotch Ripple actually helps pick up that little bit of vanilla that's in the RY4. And so you get a little bit of that like vanilla cream in the background. And then nice dessert tobacco leaf. Nothing offensive, great off the shake, gets better over time. My recommendation on this vape is shake it and vape it and go. I personally don't think you need to let it steep the week. It will get richer as time goes by, but it's certainly really, really worth your time right away. So this is kind of my cardinal. For those nobody who's ever had Cardinal, Cardinal's a dessert tobacco. This is kind of my Cardinal. Cardinal's generally the tobacco recipe that I recommend people go give a shot if you're even mildly interested in tobaccos. This will kind of be my cardinal. If you're even mildly interested in tobaccos, give this a shot. Even if you're not interested in tobaccos right now, this might be the one to change your mind about what tobaccos can be. Tobacco vapes, you don't have to be scared of them. You don't have to be scared of them. They're just another facet of vaping. The RY4 from Flavora is absolutely top notch. Absolutely top notch. It is one of the finer tobaccos that I've had the pleasure of vaping. You get mostly caramel, but you do get a little bit of that tobacco leaf, and that little bit of tobacco leaf really blends well with the greenery in the huckleberry. So I'm a big fan of this vape. Maybe I'll start programming myself to go back to sleep to Backwoods Blueberry again. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Let me know what else you'd like to see me mix. I'm here. We're doing these, so it's gonna be a good time. Everybody be beautiful to each other. Educate, advocate, be good for this community. We'll see you on that next one. Bye.